What's going on, you guys? Frost here, and I'm back with another guide. This time I'll be telling you guys how I play Kindred jungle. If you find this guide helpful in any way, please do remember to click that like button, as this will help me get this guide out there to more people. Also, if anything changes that will affect this guide, there will be an update in the description. The following subjects will mention in this guide: champion description, abilities, leveling order, runes, masteries, the item build and the jungle strategy. If you want to go to a specific subject, you can click on it right now. Champion description. Kindred is a really good jungler that scales insanely well. She has an insane amount of sustain in the jungle, so much that it's actually difficult to even have any problems clearing. The only thing that holds her back from clearing is her mana cost. Kindred is also great at doing Dragon and Baron because she has so much percentage health damage. Besides all this, she also has an insane amount of mobility and is very good at kiting the enemy because of the slow from her E. And to finish this off, she can pretty much give herself a free Tryndamere ult to turn around a lot of situations. Overall, if you like playing a champion that is very mobile with high damage output, Kindred is definitely the champion for you. Kindred's abilities. Her passive, Mark of the Kindred. Both Lamp and Wolf mark targets to hunt. Scoring a takedown on a marked target permanently empowers Lamp's basic attacks to deal 1.25% of her target's current health bonus as on-hit physical damage, stacking with each mark consumed. Lamp is offered a selection of champions to take down, which is hidden while in combat with an enemy champion. Once selected, there is an 8-second delay before the mark can be collected, and Lamp can change her target after 90 seconds, if the target hasn't died in that time. Targets successfully hunted cannot be targeted again for 4 minutes. Wolf periodically selects a random monster camp within the enemy's jungle or the Rift Scuttler, excluding epic monsters, and highlights the camp to both teams, starting at 2:30. This ends upon acquiring 6 stacks. The mark is removed upon the monster camp's death, even if Kindred is not involved. This passive is what gives Kindred a lot of her damage, so try to be on top of stacking this up, and as a jungler, just select the target you are about to gank. If you choose a correct gank, the chances of you getting the kill are pretty much guaranteed. Her first ability, Dance of Arrows. Lamp dashes in a target direction and fires up to 3 homing arrows upon arrival to the 3 nearest targets, dealing physical damage to each. Lamp's current attack target at any proximity will be prioritized by one of the bolts. Casting Wolf's Frenzy or dashing within Wolf's territory will reduce the cooldown of Dance of Arrow to 2 seconds. This is your main damage skill for clearing jungle camps, as it pretty much hits all the monsters in the camp with exception to the Wraiths, because there are more than 3 monsters in that camp. You can also use the skill to get around your jungle faster by using it to hop over walls. Don't think that you can only use this skill whilst you're in Wolf's territory, because the cooldown will also go down to 2 seconds upon activating it. Her second ability, Wolf's Frenzy. Passively, Lamp builds stacks of Hunter's Vigor as she moves around, up to 100. Once fully stacked, her next basic attack will heal her for 60 plus 3 times Kindred's level. Upon activating, Wolf claims a small area as his territory for the next 8 seconds, separating from Lamp. Wolf attacks targets within the area autonomously, prioritizing Lamp's attack target. Wolf's basic attacks scale with 50% of Kindred's bonus attack speed and deal physical damage, equal to the base amount plus 40% of the mark of Kindred's damage. Once you leave the territory, this skill ends immediately. The passive effect from this ability is where Kindred's insane jungle sustain comes from. But in order for this to sustain you, you want to make sure you always keep moving when you're attacking the camps to get the stacks back. Her third ability, Mounting Dread. Lamp cripples the target unit, slowing them by 70% for 1 second. If Lamp manages to attack the target twice in the next 4 seconds of each other, her third attack in the next 4 seconds after instantly directs wolves to pounce on them, dealing bonus physical damage, capped against monsters. This skill does percentage max health damage and will allow you to thread through champions. You can also use this skill to get objectives like Baron and Dragon just that little bit faster, or simply to help you clear, mainly for the early game, because later on you don't really need this to clear at all. Combining the damage from the skill with your passive effect and Blade of the Rune King is going to do a serious amount of damage to everything. Her fourth ability, Lamp's Respite. Lamp blesses the ground under an allied champion or herself for 3 seconds. While in this area, all units cannot be reduced below 10% of their maximum health. Units in the area who reach the threshold cannot be healed while within for the remaining duration. All units within the zone are healed immediately after blessing ends. This skill is very straightforward. It doesn't allow anything within the area to get below 10% health. This really helps you against champions with single burst rotations like Syndra or LeBlanc to pretty much turn every fight back onto them. And if you build a lot of lifesteal, you will easily be able to get your health bar back very quickly once this ability ends. Leveling these abilities. On level 1, I take a point into my W. This gives you the best increase to clear your first camp with, and it also provides you with a sustain. Then on level 2 I take my Q. Combining this skill with your W will just destroy camps like it's nothing, making your buff clear very fast. And on level 3 you can either take a point into your E to start ganking, or you can take a second point into your Q for a faster clear speed. When it comes to maxing, I'll max my Q first to get the best jungle clear and overall most damage out of her kit. Then I'll max my W second to get a lower cooldown on the ability and also to make Wolf deal more damage. And I'll max my E last simply because leveling this doesn't give you a lot. It only increases the damage by a little bit since the percentage health effect doesn't scale up with levels. And of course you level your R whenever possible. The runes. I go for 9 flat 80 marks, 9 scaling health seals, 9 scaling CDR glyphs and 3 attack speed quints. I take the 9 flat 80 marks to help me boost my base damage enough to speed up my initial jungle clear significantly. Then I take the 9 scaling health seals to make sure I have a bigger health pool as the game goes on. I take 9 scaling CDR glyphs to help me get full CDR later in the game, and finally I take the 3 attack speed quints to help me clear faster in the early game. The Masteries. I go for 12, 0, 18 on Kindred. In the Ferocity tree I take the increased spell damage into Double-Edged Sword, Sustain and Oppressor. This will increase my damage by a significant amount, especially when you slow a target. Then, when it comes to the Resolve tree, I go down the entire left side of the tree, ending off as Strength of the Ages. The main focus here is just to get the extra mobility and even more sustain. I take the Strength of the Agent's Keystone on Kindred over anything because she is the type of champion that wants to have more health early when you are building your damage items, since she is so squishy early on. The item build. I have 2 different item builds for Kindred. The first one is the Devourer build and the second one is the Warrior build. You need to decide based on the game or your playstyle for which of these 2 builds you want to go for. First off, the Devourer build. Starting off you want to get a machete and a refillable potion. The reason I get the refillable potion is because you already have so much build and sustain that you don't need the extra health from your regular health potions. After your initial clear you want to go back and buy an upgraded jungle item. I personally highly prefer the Stalkers, but on Kindred you can make a case for all of them. After this you want to rush into a Devourer enchant as fast as possible. Now at this stage you want to just get a pair of regular boots and build into a Bladed Rune King. The Bladed Rune King combined with the stated Devourer will make you deal a massive amount of damage, plus it will offer you lifesteal and a very useful active. After this you want to finish your boots into a pair of Ninja Tabis. I get these boots because it will allow you to tank a lot more damage and also win those 1v1 fights. At this point you want to get some armor pen in the form of Black Cleaver. This item works insanely well with the stated Devourer, plus it will help you cap out your CDR in this build. Then, to finish it off, you want to get yourself some tank stats. A combination of Deadmans and Sterix is very solid. It will offer you mobility, plus you cannot get bursted down. Then, for the Warrior build, you want to start this the same way, but instead of going for the Devourer enchant, you get the Warrior one. After this, you want to get a pair of CDR boots. I get these boots over anything else because it will reduce your flash cooldown, and it also helps you get those low cooldown Qs more often. After this, you want to rush into a Ghost Blade as fast as possible. This item will offer you mobility plus armor pen and attack damage. Once you get this item, your damage will suddenly skyrocket. After this you get a Hex Drinker. I get this item as my main magic resist item, plus the finished item, Maw, also gives you armor pen. You can also get a Hex Drinker right after your jungle item if you feel like you need the extra tankiness against AP damage. Anyway, after Hex Drinker you want to get yourself a rapid fire cannon. The reason I get this item is because it will offer you movement speed, a bigger attack range for one hit, and the attack speed plus crit chance. After this you want to finish your Hex Drinker into a Maw, and finish off your build with a Sterix, to make sure you cannot get deleted. The jungle strategy. In the background right now you can see the jungle clear for both sides of the map. Whilst this is playing I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how to gank with Kindred, objective control and team fighting. Starting off with how to gank. Be sure to use your E right before auto attacking. This is so you can apply the stacks to E, and also the E transitions better animation wise when you use it right after your Q to close the gap. Use all of your slows, movement speed items, summoners and abilities correctly. For instance, if you know they can flash away or just use a jump, apply Bladed Rune King first, as the slow lasts 3 seconds compared to the Chilling Smite's 2 seconds. And it is stronger. Chilling Smite as soon as you close the distance, and at that point they should be dead. When doing ganks, try to Q into W when you are in range for your Q to hit. This should allow you to Q again to get almost melee distance to them. Also, Kindred is very good at doing dragon early on. Especially when you're going for the Devourer routes, you really want to get that dragon. The same goes for Baron. If you have a teammate that can just tank this for you, you can do it pretty quick. And finally, team fighting. Don't treat your Q as a damage source compared to the early game. Once your enemies have armor, it will barely do anything due to the terrible AD ratio. It is meant to be used as a gap closer / escape, so you can only use it for mostly positioning purposes and not for damage. As Kindred, you want to also make sure you play it more like Vayne, meaning that you just kill whoever is in your range, even if this is a tank, because you can destroy anybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've enjoyed it or learned anything from it, please do remember to click that like button right below this video, as this helps me get this video out there. If you would like to see more guides like this, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!